Yo, what's going on, guys? It is John. This is my debut. We are super excited to bring you guys tomorrow's transfers today. So I'm not a little used to this. It's just a little bit rough, but I promise you guys we're gonna get to all of the juicy news today, smashing all the transfer BS to pieces, finding and the hidden gems in a pile of steaming turd. We're gonna get rid of all the nonsense. We're gonna sift through all the BS. And we're going to make sure we're going to deliver to you guys the good news as always. We have a lot of news tonight. Just looking through the comment section. Holy crap, there is a lot of you guys here. You guys are going to have to bear with me here because you guys are just going crazy on me right now. Anyways, I got to stop saying today's. This is tomorrow's transfers today. This is the place to find out what's going on in the world of Manchester United's transfers today. And obviously, the big news coming out of tonight is with respect to Anthony Martial. But we're going to leave that fat, juicy conversation for you guys at the end. We're going to start off with something a little bit more in relation to being overweight. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm not talking about Steven Housen. I am obviously talking about Marco Verratti. Now, EMEA reported that Marco Verratti has not been too happy. Now, if we're going to take a look at the article here, I'm just going to pull this up for you right now. Apparently, the 25-year-old is very upset after having a meeting with the new PSG manager, Thomas Tuchel, and after being told that he is overweight. He is apparently furious and wants to join Manchester United, or is sort of being given the green light to move. Now, would I want Marco Verratti at the club? Yes and no. I mean, he does have great experience when it comes to his age. He's 25 years old, has plenty of Champions League experience, as well as having a lot of league experience. And while some people might say that Ligue 1 is filled with farmers and all that jazz, he does have a good experience in a winning team. So now that's a big positive. But in terms of the news, do I see this as something that's holding a lot of weight? Maybe, perhaps. I mean, for a player to be a professional player and to be upset at the fact that a manager has told you to lose weight and to be upset about that, I'm not sure if I want somebody of that sort of mentality in the team. I mean, we've seen overweightness or excessive weight being an issue at Manchester United with, Wayne Rooney in the past having been told by a few managers to drop weight. We've seen Luke Shaw picking up weight, dropping weight. So that's not something new for us fans, but definitely it's something to keep an eye out on. I'm not sure if we're going to want to have somebody that's going to be furious at a manager telling you to lose weight. But anyways, let's go into the comment section. Holy crap, you guys are going fast up in here. Let's take a look. Lots of comments about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Thank you guys so much. Instant Surgery says Verratti would be a great signing. Let's be real. I mean, he does have a point. Marco Verratti is a decent midfielder. Now, if you're looking at the midfielders that we've signed so far, obviously being Fred, and we're looking at obviously offloading Fellaini and things of that nature, Verratti would not be a bad signing at all to add to bolster this midfield squad. So it's going to be interesting. I'm just going to want to look at one or two more comments here. We're going to leave the Martial talk for you guys at the end there. Jevin111 says Verratti is overrated. VK Dean says I like Verratti, but we're all here for Martial. Okay, fantastic. Can we talk a little bit more about Verratti here? Any other comments about Verratti? Jamie Mather says Verratti, a wrong type of player, need a Saul Rodriguez mold. I get the point, I get that, but at the end of the day, perhaps I think the bigger picture or the bigger soup that we need to get out of this is that Verratti, if there's any truth in this, would be a very good addition. Anyways, enough about Verratti. You guys please get in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any more suggestions about Verratti. We're actually moving on to somebody that's a new player that's being linked to Manchester United. The name is Federico Chiesa. Now, I'm not sure if I'm butchering his pronunciation, but apparently, let's see here. Apparently, the Express is reporting that the 20-year-old is catching lots of attention from European heavyweights after a decent season in Serie A. He has been smashed with a £62 million price tag for being a 20-year-old winger, but according to The Guardian, both Liverpool and United are considering launching a bid for the youngsters, and he's apparently on the verge of making Italy's national team squad. Now, let's take a look at Italy's national team squad. They haven't been great in the past few years, perhaps making a bit of surprise I guess upgrades and making a surprise in terms of quality, I'm not too sure. But as a 20-year-old who has done a decent amount of performances in Serie A, to be slapped with a 62 million pound price tag, I think that's a little bit too much. If I had a sound effect to fart on this, I would fart on this all day. 62 million. We're not even trying to spend, we're not even trying to spend that much on somebody from Juventus. We're not even trying to spend that much on Sandro, and he has been a fantastic servant for Juventus. So I think this is kind of something that we just need to brush aside. Perhaps keeping an eye on it might not be a bad idea, but I think it's just too much. Fiorentina is asking for way too much if this is true. It's 20 million pounds. You kidding me? Anyways, let's go into the comment section here. Let's see. Anybody talking about Chiesa here? Instant surgery, my man says again. Chiesa could be a one-season wonder, though. High price paid, find out. Let's talk about that. We've had so many players that were sort of touted to be this next generation of massive quality, the new Ronaldo, the new Messi, whatever you want to call it. We've had so many players in that ilk, and unfortunately, we've had to let them go in the past few seasons. We've had to let go Memphis, who I personally think still has massive quality under his belt. Now, attitude might be a bit questionable, but anyways, we can't sign these young players at an insane price only to have them bail out for a flop of a season and to leave. I think that's a massive risk and a massive gamble. And although Forbes has recently listed Manchester United again as the #1 profiting club with like 1.2 or something like that, 1.2 billion or something of a massive figure, we don't just ooze money out the butt, and I just don't think that's the right kind of move to be making for Manchester United. Anyways, we're going to move on from Chiesa. We're going to go to the next topic here with Robert Lewandowski. And let's go to the article here. Sports Witness, obviously you guys have known already. Sports Witness, shout outs to you guys. You guys do massive work, great work. Apparently, Robert Lewandowski is available for transfer. And Sports Builder reporting that Manchester United are a hot candidate to sign to Poland International. And German magazine believes that Lewandowski has been at the top of the striker wish list for Manchester United. Now, Robert Lewandowski has been fantastic for Bayern Munich. Has had a fantastic career overall, even at Borussia Dortmund. Do you remember him dismantling Real Madrid? I mean, he's had a fantastic career. Now, do I want somebody like Robert Lewandowski at the club? For sure. I think Robert Lewandowski, at the end of the day, would be on an 11 on any team. But given the situation at Manchester United, we already have a great striker in Romelu Lukaku. And I think our priority needs to be adding and bolstering players and defenses and midfield in other areas. And I just don't think the striker list is something that we need to focus on right now. In terms of how much truth to this, I mean, many a times we've seen Manchester United being linked with Robert Lewandowski. I think we've been linked to him the past 3-4 damn seasons. Now, how much truth does this hold? I mean, Sports Witness is saying that this is an unlikely one, and it's felt sometimes in the past Bayern Munich or perhaps maybe pushing the idea of Manchester United wanting another player. I just don't think there's any truth in this. I don't think Manchester United or Jose Mourinho in particular would want to prioritize somebody like Robert Lewandowski. I think perhaps last season when we didn't have Romelu Lukaku in the summer, if we had something about Robert Lewandowski, it would have been a lot more credible. But I don't think Jose Mourinho would want to push for that kind of signing right now. Let's go into the comment section, guys. All right, we're not talking about thick legs right now. Kieran says, "Do people really think we will get Lewandowski?" I mean, to a certain extent, I guess some people might not might be excited at the prospect of signing somebody like Lewandowski, but who knows? Okay, lots of people still talking about Anthony Martial, guys. Let's keep the Anthony Martial conversation towards the end. Now, you guys can just blast me with all that. Dolkarnin Adan says Lewandowski is too good not to consider. Of course, I'm not saying that we should not consider Robert Lewandowski. Holy crap, my tongue is just twisting. I'm not saying that we shouldn't consider Robert Lewandowski, but what I am saying is that this is probably unlikely, as Jose Mourinho has already prioritized in signing midfielders and defenders and bolstering other departments that is not the striking or the forward department. We're just thick with quality players going forward, and we're already talking about Anthony Martial wanting to leave because he's unpleased with the way things are going, and we're gonna sign Robert Lewandowski. I just don't think that's that's logical in both Manchester United and Jose Mourinho sense here. Shivya Invalido says that oh my god, what the hell is wrong with me? Robert Lewandowski probably wants Real Madrid and uses Man United as bait. You know what? I think that's a decent point. I wouldn't be surprised if he is using Robert Lewandowski. If he's using Manchester United as bait. Manchester United are like the victim in transfer windows every damn season. We're being used as bait all the time. Who can remember Sergio Ramos twiddling his thumbs, teasing and flirting with Manchester United before signing an extension? We can't fall into these kind of traps. So, as fans, we shouldn't even be supporting these ideas. 171 likes. Come on, guys. Let's bump up the like button. I know I'm not Statman Dave. I know I'm not Steven Housen. I know I'm not Adam. But I'm here to help you guys sift through all the BS and talk to you guys about some fat transfers before the World Cup starts. So press the like button, not for me, but for producer Chris, who's working his ass off, for all the guys at Full Time Devils. Let's move on to a current Manchester United player in Timothy FosuMensah. Apparently, Timothy FosuMensah is not really excited about the prospect of finding it difficult to get game time under Manchester United. Of course, he had a great successful loan spell at Crystal Palace last season, and I thought he had a great season under his belt, full of experience, and that's exactly what we needed for Timothy FosuMensah to gain exposure to. And recently in the reports, he did mention these quotes like, "I do not want to hear that I am young and that my time is still coming. I want to reach the top as quickly as possible. That's me." And he says the top is the World Cup, the Euros, the Champions League final. That is what Timothy FosuMensah is about. Now, if you're Timothy FosuMensah and you're saying this in the press, you know damn well that Manchester United, at the end of the day, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest club in the world. You aren't going to come out into the press and say something like that and then want to make a move. He still hasn't really given himself a full go at Manchester United. Of course, he was very young before his move to Crystal Palace, but with a great season of experience under his belt, he's 20 years old. He's still got lots of time, and coming back to Manchester United and sitting one full season under Jose Mourinho, learning and getting exposed to, lots of games throughout the season. That's the experience that he needs, so I cannot see this happening at all. I just don't think Timothy FosuMensah would even want to leave for that matter. And I think we have great quality in somebody like Timbo, and Jose Mourinho would be foolish to let somebody like him go. He's a versatile player. He's an excellent player. A great tackle about him. Got great vision. His physique is amazing, and for that age to leave him and let him go, I just don't see that happening. Let's go into the comments and see what people are saying about Timothy FosuMensah. Michael McNeil says Timothy FosuMensah should play midfield next season. More potential than McTominay, who should be loaned out. That's not a bad idea either. Timothy FosuMensah, as I just mentioned, is a very versatile player, and he could play in many departments of the pitch. He could play in the fullback position. We've even used him in the past under Louis van Gaal in a central defensive position as well, shifting here and out. Having him in midfield, I don't think would be a bad idea at all. We're gonna be playing games left, right, and center, and Jose Mourinho needs to realize that he needs to rotate his squad. And to play a little bit of Jose Mourinho, devil's advocate for Jose Mourinho. Perhaps he felt uncomfortable at the idea of rotating players that just don't fit his standard of quality. So Timothy FosuMensah has gotten great experience. Having him come back and having him play in midfield would not be a bad idea at all for the League Cup games and things of that nature. That would be great experience for Timothy FosuMensah, and to play alongside great quality players like Pogba, Matic, Fred coming in, and to be under the guidance of an OG like Michael Carrick. That would be fantastic for somebody like Timbo. One more quote. Let's take a look. Vinit Puranik says Timbo a CDM. I like that. Ethan Tugun says Fosu thick legs. That's right, my man. Timbo has some thick legs. I love that about him. It's a little weird, but my point is he's a great player. Love Timbo to death. Really wanted to stay. Let's move on to another complete of a BS. Cristiano Ronaldo apparently wants to join Manchester United. Don Balón, who I could fart on any day, has apparently urged his agent Jorge Mendes to get him to Manchester United, and he is not excited at the fact that Lopetegui, or I forgot, the former Spain manager who is now going to take over as Real Madrid manager, Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't fancy the manager and wants to make a move. And how many times have Manchester United fans sat here after he's left that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to return to his home club and that he wants to come back and play under the floodlights at Old Trafford? How many times have we heard that? I think it's safe to say that every single Manchester United fan out there, although we love Ronnie to death, would not want to read this kind of BS. I think this is absolute utter trash. If I had a sound effect button of a fart, I'd be smashing that right now, just saying get this BS out of here because this makes no sense. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo is still a superb athlete. Cristiano Ronaldo is still a fantastic player at his day, but he's old and he's just not the signing that we should be making. We shouldn't be making the Zlatan Ibrahimovic signings. We shouldn't be making the Ronaldo signings. I think the phase for that sort of signing in our transition sort of period was last season. And Jose Mourinho, the season before that, Jose Mourinho made the right signing, or the right call in signing somebody like Zlatan Ibrahimovic to bring the finesse, to bring the swagger, to bring the fire, to bring the arrogance back into this soft-ass Manchester United squad, and that's exactly what we got from somebody like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And to bring somebody like Ronaldo back, which I don't even think would happen, but if it were to happen, it just would not make sense at all. Guys, get in the comments about Ronaldo. Let's take a look here and see anybody else is signing. Aaron Burke says, "We love Ronnie to death, ha ha ha, you're some man, John." I mean, we do. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo will always sit near and dear to our hearts as Manchester United fans, but it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Eric Glenar says, "Ronaldo has been wanting to join United since 2012, and he's never coming back." I agree with you. We've been saying this time and time again, and we're just tired of it. Down below, you just get the hell out of here. Come on, man. It's just, you can't play us like that. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Far too old. I love it to death, but it's just going to be too much money for somebody like Ronaldo not working right now. And maybe Stephen Housen might disagree with me. But, he tells me to STF you all the time, so he's just piss drunk right now from his World Cup beer tournament and whatnot, and I'm sure you guys will see a video of that in the near future. Moving on to Fred, and this one is from The Sun. Once again, if I had the sound effect, I'd be smashing that fart button just all over the place. Apparently, The Sun just basically posted up some pictures of Fred back in Brazil training, and great. I mean, Fred has already been had a soft confirmed by Manchester United. He's been pictured looking very, very happy with the French squad. With the Brazil squad. I'm super happy that we got somebody like Fred. Not really much to discuss here. I mean, it's The Sun, and it's just Fred just talking about him being back in Brazil training. I wouldn't even be surprised if The Sun came out here and said that Fred is apparently contemplating a move away from Manchester United. It's just like that's what I think of The Sun. If I had that sound effect, I'd be smashing that all damn day because they are absolute wonkers. Let's go take a look into the comment section here. Benji Gribben says, who even is Fred? Damn! I mean, we haven't gotten the video yet, but relax, it'll come. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be another piano video or something fire, but we know Fred is Manchester United. We know Fred will be playing for Manchester United. So just hang in there. You'll get to know him. Let's see what else we got here. Joker HD says, "What's your obsession with farts?" Now, I'm just saying, if there was a sound effect, I would just let people know that that's how much I feel about this nonsense. It's all absolute BS. Vinny Purnik again says, "Stay calm. Fred is good to go." Obviously, he's of course good to go. Vinny speaking the truth right there. I don't even know why they're writing this damn stupid article. Let's move on before I get upset about The Sun again. We're talking about Sandro. We're talking about Sports Witness. Of course, Sports Witness, again, as I mentioned, fantastic news outlet, says that it seems that the possibility of Alex Sandro's contract renewal with Juventus doesn't make much of a difference in the hunt. Apparently, Tuttosport, who reports that claiming clubs will continue to try to sign the Brazilian regardless of a new deal or not. Now, Alex Sandro, his names have been mentioned time and again in the newspapers when it comes to transfers. Now, do I want somebody like Alex Sandro in the squad? Of course. We need to get rid of the young Valencia, Smalling, Jones defense. I don't care who goes on that name sheet, just not that back four. And you guys know my feelings about them. They've done us great service. They've been fantastic servants for Manchester United, but it's just not the quality of a back four that Manchester United should be displaying. I just think we need a little bit more quality at the back. And that sort of confidence is what's going to help Jose Mourinho to allow his midfielders and allow his forward players to play with a little bit more pizzazz and to play with a little bit more flair and confidence. Because if your backline is shambolic and if your backline is shaky, then of course Jose Mourinho is going to try and opt for a much more compact, more rigid setup. And I'm not sitting here saying that Jose Mourinho is going to play free-flow and attacking massive, just destructive football. I'm not saying that, but with a more structured, solid backline, of course you're going to have a little bit more freedom for your more forward players like your midfielders and your attacking players. Witness are saying that the Red Devils will be more than ready to make the move to sign Alex Sandro. To Sport are claiming that Juventus and Manchester United are currently in the talks for the transfer of Matteo Darmian, and things should be soon extended to Alex Sandro. And now that's a very interesting thing. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Matteo Darmian has not featured at all for Manchester United this squad. So everybody kind of knows already that Matteo Darmian doesn't really have much of a future at Manchester United. And now while that sucks, at the end of the day, if you're just not good enough, you're just not good enough. And Jose Mourinho has obviously displayed his lack of affection for somebody like Matteo Darmian, who lacks the quality. So they're trying to move him on. But I think this deal needs to happen a lot sooner than later. It's just we can't be holding on to this, especially with the World Cup in the middle of this summer transfer window. We should not waste any time because time is of the essence this summer transfer window. And we're going to want to try and move on. Let Matteo Darmian move on as quick as possible so that we can focus on Alex Sandro. Now, let's look into the comment section. Colin Smith says Darmian's legs ain't thick enough. That's right, my G. Darmian's a little lanky in that department. We need a little bit more thickness in that quality of the park. Sachi says, anyone like hummus? I mean, I love hummus, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Let's see what else we need to go. Rob Green says Sandro has some thick legs. That's right. Alex Sandro's got that's a thick boy right there. We need to make sure we get somebody like him. Absolute quality defender on his day. Ed Woodward, get to it, my man. Come on now. We need to get going here. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look at the like buttons. 349, guys. Come on. Let's bump this. Guys, please. Producer Chris is not going to want me back here. I need you guys to bump the like buttons, guys. Come on now. Please press and smash that like button as we move on to the main topic of the evening. This is very, very upsetting here. I'm going to take this very, very slowly. Huge update tonight from Anthony Martial's agent. Anthony Martial has been quoted by his agent, Felipe Lambole. I'm not sure if I'm butchering that. He wants to leave Manchester United. I'm going to read the quote out here for you guys. The agent has said that after thinking about all the possibilities and scenarios, Anthony wants to leave Manchester United. And then when he was asked the reason as to why, he said, there are many parameters. For now, it's premature to talk about it. Anthony will speak later to discuss all of this. Now, the little bit of the hope firing inside me says this is probably just agent chatter and maybe Martial might come out and say something completely different. But to be all honest with you guys, I think this probably holds a lot more truth than anything. And it's very, very upsetting that it's come to this conclusion. And I don't want to... I hope Adam didn't see this on Twitter because he's probably still on vacation or something like that. And to hear this would absolutely shatter his heart. But it just sucks. And I want to share with you guys something that Sports Witness tweeted today. And I'm going to just kind of read off the tweet and we'll chat about it. Sports Witness tweeted, on Martial, a lot of this may date back to the shirt number issue. His agent had made it clear back then that this caused Martial annoyance and perhaps the start of the player feeling rightly or wrongly undervalued and hard done by the club. Now, if you guys remember back in November 2016, when Anthony Martial first joined Manchester United, he wore the number 9. And while he was sort of changing his Instagram handle, his Twitter handle to Martial_9 and all that jazz, once we signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic, they sort of pushed him out of that 9 number and forced him to pick something else. And I'm guessing he picked 11, where Zlatan took over the 9. And now Lukaku has joined and he's taken 9, and Martial sort of stayed with the number 11. Now you're going to be sitting here saying, John, what the hell is the difference? It's just a number. For a player, I think every single footballing player has different sort of priorities and they prioritize certain things in a different way. But I guess for Martial, the fact that he wanted to keep number 9 and the fact that he was stripped of the number probably gave him the misconception that Manchester United didn't really value him as much. Now, from a Manchester United perspective, Anthony Martial probably was more so in the long-term plan. Now, Louis van Gaal has signed Martial for the future manager, so he wasn't signed immediately to be a superstar. So in that perspective, perhaps they valued Zlatan's immediate arrival a little bit more higher in terms of the priority list, and hence was the reason why, look, Zlatan's the guy right now for the season or two that we're going to keep him, so let's give him the number he wants. Perhaps, rightly or wrongly so, Anthony Martial felt upset by that. Before we go on, I want to talk to you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that was something that was fair? Do you guys think that was something that was acceptable for Anthony Martial? I want to go into the comment section here. Let's take a look. There's a lot of comments here about Anthony Martial. I want to read a lot of them. Let's take here. Justin Hernandez says, talk me off the ledge, John. My man, Justin, please don't say things like that. Yo, we love you to death out here. Full time devils, you can't be saying that. Espen says, Jose out here effing now. The prick is not for us. Let's just keep going. Let's just see what other people have to say. Ryan C, I'd rather get rid of Jose Mourinho. Benji Gribben, only one response to Martial. Unlucky. MDV Gaming HT says, Jose for life. Ethan Two Gun says, feel like I've been dumped. If you leave me now. Sandberg says, my heart is broken. JT Original says, man was on fire before we bought Sanchez. Just lots of differing opinions about Anthony Martial. Very, very controversial in the sense that a lot of people, if I put it very, very bluntly, a lot of people have either sort of said Martial in, Jose Mourinho out, or Martial out and Jose Mourinho in. Now, where do I stand on that? I think it's kind of unfair that Jose Mourinho and both Jose Mourinho and Anthony Martial have to be put in this predicament. Of course, there's only 11 players that can play on this pitch, and there's only a few players that can be involved in the squad. You only have 20-something players that can actually be part of the squad, and out of those 20-something, you're going to have a few players that's just not going to have the game time that they want. It's just going to be discontent or displeased with the situation. And I think it's just very unfortunate that somebody like Anthony Martial has to have been put in this predicament. Because I think Martial is a fantastic player. Given his day, probably played in the right structure, the right formation, the right philosophy, the right mentality even. I think Anthony Martial would have been a worldie, and he would have just destroyed players on his day. He still destroys players. And for him to be playing under Jose Mourinho in this style, I think it's just very, very unfortunate. And to see his agent come out and say that he wants to leave, I think that's heartbreaking. And I definitely do not want to see another Memphis situation. Nobody wanted to see that, but it's just absolutely heartbreaking to see this. And if Anthony Martial actually does leave, I'm going to cry, and it's just going to suck. It's just going to suck, period. But anyways, let's go back into the comment section here. I want to see what else people are saying. Martial not willing to challenge Sanchez and fight for his place. Lou115 says Arnautovic is greater than Martial. F you, Jose. What the hell? What are you saying? Oh, he's saying Jose Mourinho's favoring Arnautovic over Martial. Oh, I got you, my man. I got you. Let's just go back into that comment about what Maitam Mohsin said. He says Martial is not willing to challenge Sanchez and fight for his place. Now, I think that's a bit unfair in the sense that Martial has been sort of in this squad fighting and fighting. If I speak from a Martial supporter's perspective, of course that sucks because, he is a fantastic player, and to leave that kind of quality rotting on the bench, it's just not right, and it's just unfair. But if you look at it from another perspective, from the opposite side of the bench, you can see somebody like Marcus Rashford, somebody like Jesse Lingard, who's been in the club for quite some time, and to come out and blossom into this, into the integral part of the squad that they currently are. Maybe perhaps you can say Anthony Martial should not be excused. I mean, he should be held in the same regard and say, look, Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard stood their ground and stuck their head up, and they, at the end of the day, became an integral part of the squad. Of course, by that merit, you can say the same thing to Anthony Martial, but I just think Anthony Martial has been a bit treated a bit unfairly, and it just hasn't been right And it's just a very, very unfair predicament, unfair situation. I'll read a few more comments here. Andrew96 says Sanchez has done nothing to earn that place. And, you know, you do have a point. And Alexis Sanchez, gonna put it straight out there, has not had a good season. And for him to come out, for him to be playing in and out, day in, day out, as opposed to somebody like Martial, who barely has gotten a chance at all in that respect, is very, very unfair. Very, very unfair. Let's leave more comments. SJ89 Real says this should be your last live stream. Perhaps it might be, perhaps it might not. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna read a few more comments here. Mr. Spirit says Martial plays well and get drops, whereas Sanchez is in every week regardless of the performance. I think that's a great point, and it's just very, very unfair. Guys, that was a fantastic, fantastic stream. Thank you guys so much for your comments. The comments are flying. Jesse Hitman says, everybody leave a like. John, read my comment. I just read it there. Thank you, Jesse, for watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Guys, please, please drop a like button on this video. You don't have to like me. Just drop a damn like and leave a comment about all of the transfers that I've just spoken to. And in particular, leave a comment about your stance on Anthony Martial. What do you think? Do you think Anthony Martial was unfairly treated at Manchester United? Do you think Anthony Martial is being a pansy and just crying and being a wuss? What do you guys think? This is a very, very controversial topic, and I would love, and I'm sure all the guys at Full Time Devils would love to hear your thoughts on this, because we do read through the comments and we do get an understanding as to what you guys feel, because at the end of the day, you guys are what matters in this channel. I love all of you guys to death. Guys, thank you for the shirt. Thank you for the love. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Full Time Devils if you guys haven't. Steven Housen is coming out with a World Cup of Beers video. You guys saw him get trashed on his Instagram. Please get to that. Statman Dave has put up a lot of recently great videos about Fred, Diogo Dalot, about his preferred starting 11. Great videos. And I'm sure Adam's going to be pumping out some great videos as well. Shout out to producer Chris for letting me on this. I might probably talked for too long anyways. But thank you guys for watching so much. Thank you guys so much for your support on my first stream. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.